Welcome to RHI Sociable City Interviews, where we meet with global thought leaders on nightlife and the social economy. Today, we are joined by Corean Reynolds, the pioneer director of Nightlife Economy for the city of Boston, bringing a wealth of experience and a passion for fostering an equitable and thriving nighttime ecosystem. She is currently the youngest to hold this title among her peers nationwide.
Hello, great to have you here. Great to have this conversation. I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So, can you kind of give a brief statement of your background in terms of what skills and experience you bring to the position that you have now?
Definitely. I am an urban planner by education. I went to Michigan State University. I got a bachelor's in urban and regional planning with a focus on economic and community development. And then I moved to Boston shortly after college, and I started working for government. First, it was state government, doing workforce supplier and diversity development for a brand new industry, casino gaming. And then I
Mm.
moved on to the Boston Foundation, which is one of the oldest and largest community foundations in the nation. And I focused on economic development and grant giving in that way, and managed a fund that invested in women, minority-owned businesses to grow, scale, and imagine their businesses in and around Boston. And now I'm here at the city of Boston. I have a musical background as well. I grew up singing and traveling around the world, and so that arts background helps me understand and support the artists that I represent and try to support through this work.
Oh, good, good. So, what's your elevator speech for what your job is?
So I would say that my job is to help identify programmatic solutions, coordinate resources, and establish policy that will create a more vibrant and robust nighttime economy to strengthen Boston's overall 24-hour economy.
Wow. So, it's not just a job to go out and party at night?
I wish, but no, that is not the job. It's really policy driven.
Yeah, I imagine some people might when you tell them that now I know everybody has a different job title. So what's your official job title?
My official job title is Director of Nightlife Economy.
Oh, okay. Although you're referred to as the night czar.
That's what some folks call me around town, that's for sure.
So, yeah, and how long have you been in this position?
I've been in the role for 2 years as of 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so it's basically a new position that never existed before. So you basically wrote your own job description.
You can
So,
say that.
yeah.
I feel like the job kind of evolved into what it is today over the course of the administration thinking through how can we uniquely support Boston, its residents, and our business community, especially after the pandemic. When you think about the industry that was impacted the most, sociable industries were that, and that's bars, restaurants, nightclubs, that's nightlife. And
Mhm.
so acknowledging that is how we kind of come together and created this position.
I know it's a new field. I mean, more formally, it's been just in the past 10 years or so. Informally, there have been people who have been doing similar work. I think you know Allison and Jocelyn and some other people who had some early renditions of this job. But how would you describe the most important accomplishments since you began?
I think there's a few things here, right? I can go the programmatic work that we've done and the policy work that we've done with getting 225 new liquor licenses in the city of Boston. Primarily, those liquor licenses are going to neighborhoods that represent the minority ownership of liquor licenses in the city of Boston, women, people of color. They're going to neighborhoods that don't have a lot of liquor licenses per capita. And we're really proud of that because unfortunately, Boston is the only city in the state of Massachusetts that has a cap on the number of liquor licenses, but we are the economic engine of the state. And so, as you could imagine, that's it could be frustrating not only for government, but also frustrating for the entrepreneurs that we're trying to support. And then I think on the flip side of this, kind of more anecdotally, it's really opening people's eyes to the unique issues of the night. I work with my colleagues, and a lot of my work is, okay, you're doing great work. It's serving folks from 9 to 5, but how can we think about the folks that are beyond those hours? What are those unique issues, and how can we apply all of these great resources that we have for this specific demographic? And then also listening to the demographic, listening to go-go dancers and bar backs and owners, and understanding their issues, and having someone to talk to at government for sometimes the first time. I think I'm really proud of uplifting their voice and giving them a platform to change government.
You really are kind of like a liaison. It's like you're an official liaison between the big government that nobody really wants to talk to and those who feel that everything that's a problem is because of government. And then you kind of help to bridge the gap and let people see what resources they can access, and also to get their input to go up the ladder and say, here's some changes that we need, which it seems to me this new licensing system that you put into place kind of fits into your passion with your foundation work and your previous work of being an advocate for people of color and women.
Certainly, there's it's interesting how you never I did never thought I'd be the director of nightlife economy. I didn't even know that role existed. But when you're true to yourself and you stick to your values and stick to your my call, when I stick to my call to serving community, it got me to this very unique opportunity, and I'm so grateful to be the first to do it in Boston and hopefully not the last.
Mhm. So, like you said, just from a personal perspective, when you saw this opportunity and you got this job, you never really even thought that something like this existed, yet alone that you would have this job. I would imagine that there are many other people that you have to come into contact on a regular basis who you have to get to work with, who may have the same opinion that basically, what is this job and why does it exist? And does this lead to some of the disappointments in trying to advocate, or what disappointments have you had? And is it just really just people just don't understand, or is there other things that are happening that you become disappointed about?
I think there's some shared knowledge building that has to happen amongst all of my constituents and my colleagues. A lot of folks think my role is more programmatic driven, like I'm throwing parties, I'm investing in parties being thrown. I'm in, you know, they say there's this type of space that's missing, so I can pay someone to do it. That's not necessarily the case. My role is to make it easier for other folks to do it. And so I think that was kind of a misalignment with people's understanding. And then there's the flip side of things where people are like, I'm in bed by 9. I don't see how your job could affect me or how it impacts me and the world around me. And the way I kind of combat that thinking is, well, let's say your child is sick in bed at midnight and you ran out of children's Motrin and you need to find a Walgreens that's open. That is a part of our nighttime economy. Or a water main breaks in the middle of the night because of freezing temperatures, and then we need public works to get there and make sure that the issue is solved before you wake up in the morning and get ready for work. That's an issue that will affect you, and that also happens in the evening time. And so when I put it in perspective for folks and tell them that this job is beyond bars, nightclubs, and restaurants, although that is one of the major industries that we focus on, I think that once we have that shared understanding, that knowledge, and that's where people really open up and see how the possibilities of partnerships.
Yeah, yeah. And I mentioned many people have at one time or another been a part of the nighttime employee base, and they may have children who are in college or who may be considered and have as a career working in the hospitality industry that tends to work at night as well, which has some relationship to what their needs are as parents. Um, Now, in talking with other people in similar positions as yours, there's always this one, there was no clear job definition, so they had to make it up. And then secondly, once people started to figure out what was needed, it became overwhelming because you were like a sole proprietor trying to solve the problems of a major, multi-million, if not billion-dollar industry, and you feel like, you're overwhelmed. And so how would you if you were to take a step back now with your knowledge and your experience, if the city of Boston came to you and said, "Hey, let's imagine we started this all over again, and we would give you whatever resources you think it would take to set up a proper office and with the proper staff and the right staff background, how would you create the ideal office to accomplish all of the goals that you want to accomplish?"
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, pie in the sky. I think what a perfect nightlife office looks like is one that is trusted in and invested in, first of all. I think sometimes with new ideas, there's some hesitancy to invest or hesitancy to fully trust in the knowledge of the human being that's leading the work because it's so foreign to someone. And but it's constituent services just like any other department, just like 311, just like Parks and Rec. I think what a perfect nightlife economy office could look like is someone, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but someone like me leading it that has a understanding of public policy, understanding of how different stakeholders work with each other, how to understand large scale problems, um, while also identifying, while also listening to different voices and combining their issues into kind of a greater a narrative, and has a little Jane or Jack of all trades, then I definitely think there needs to be a dedicated policy human being because I think policy is where levers can be pulled, but policy takes a lot of time, especially in a state like Massachusetts, where a lot of nightlife issues are tied up at the state level and we're at the city level. And so having someone dedicated to looking at the issues and the policies and what it takes to change that policy is important. Then I think there needs to be a community liaison, someone who not only helps get the word out about the work that you're doing, your office is doing on social media and other platforms, but is also willing to convene folks to have uh, a better understanding of what folks in the community want to hear and give a platform for that in a coordinated way, to build that proximity to community and bring that to me so that we can think about, okay, these are the voices. How do we represent them? How do we listen to them? And how do we work with them? And then someone to help coordinate all three of us and ensure that we know what we're doing and bring thought partnership to those projects. That's my
Yeah,
ideal office of
that's your
nightlife
idea. That's your idea.
economy.
Now, some cities, have like a data analyst too, somebody who collects and organizes data about the the industry, the economics of the industry, and things like that. So
Mhm.
maybe that might be another fourth person you might want to add to your little team.
Maybe we tell the policy person to do it, but also the benefit of working. I will say I might be light on nightlife uh proper staff, but I'm a part of a network that is greater than me.
Mhm.
I'm housed within the Mayor's Office of Economic Opportunity and Inclusion, which has five different um, uh, offices that's housed underneath it. And then my role goes beyond those five different offices into public safety. So I
Mhm.
have public safety experts on my team, essentially. I have all of our planning departments expertise on my team. So what I don't have in immediate proximity, I have in an adjacent proximity to me. And so that's been helpful. I have the entire, city of Boston behind me and supporting me in this work.
So what I hear you saying is that essentially your staffing functions would include someone like yourself who has an urban planning background, who understands the big picture and can see how all of the different pieces fit together. Somebody who has a policy background who can advocate for and advance ideas that are necessary in terms of changes in policy, regulations, licensing procedures, or resource allocation. Somebody who could be a communicator and keep the public informed and keep other stakeholders informed. And then a coordinator who kind of keeps everything going. But also, it sounds to me like you almost have, maybe it's not a formalized advisory board, but really you have a board that would be composed of a lot of key stakeholders that have a vested interest that may not normally see each other as working together, but rather working in their own silos.
Indeed, and I also have a formalized advisory board in the night committee. So we have the Night Initiative for a Thriving Economy committee, and that's made up of 20 industry experts that help advise me and uplift some of the issues and opportunities there are throughout the city. These are folks who are lighting experts. These are folks who are our biggest entertainment group owners, DJs, influencers, urban planners, communications, you name it, we have it. Now, this group does specifically focus on the bars, nightclub, hospitality kind of industry. And that also has allowed me to steer the ship and make sure my compass is pointing in the right direction as we provide service and resource to constituents.
All right, as you move this ship down the road with your compass, 1 year from now, where is your ship going to land?
Well, 1 year from now, I hope to have a few policy initiatives approved. I have a few that I have to present to City Council for approval. I'm changing some ordinances around live entertainment and um, drinking out in the streets, for lack of a better way of explaining it, and also ensuring that we have stronger resources for employees of the evening time. And nightlife feels more safe. So we've got some projects that are launching in this spring that I'm super excited about. Some drink spiking prevention training, Stop the Bleed, um, and drink spike tops and covers for drinks. And we hope that will be a start to a larger conversation around safety and nightlife in the
Mhm.
city of Boston. So a year from now, I hope to say, hey, everybody's used all their drink covers. People who work in nightlife feel that they have the agency to create a safer environment, and folks feel like they're having more fun.
Sounds like a good goal. Well,
I hope a year from now I'm saying that
well, yeah,
though.
well, I'll interview again a year from now and see where you're at.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time. This has been very informative. You have a lot of balls in the air, and it seems like you're passionate about the work that you do, and it seems like you've already accomplished a lot in 2 years. So I appreciate your time, and I look forward to continuing to work with you.
Likewise.